Masako Wakamiya has always been a woman of action, ready to take on challenges. She was a banker before it was common for women in Japan to have such jobs. And when she retired at 60, she began a new chapter in her life, with new challenges. She had never used a computer before, but she read that using a computer could help her connect with other people while she stayed at home to look after her elderly mother. So she bought one. Over the next 20 years, she taught herself about computers and the internet. She got a smartphone and started using apps. But she found that everything was designed for young people. She knew that older people could learn to use technology and even have fun doing it, if someone designed with them in mind. She contacted app designers and asked them to develop games for older users, but no one was interested. So she did what she had always done. She did it herself. She learned Apple's coding language so she could develop an app for the iPhone. She used content that is familiar to older Japanese users, figures from the Japanese festival Hinamatsuri, or Dolls' Day. On this day, dolls are placed on a platform in a specific order. In Wakamiya's game, the goal is to place all the figures in the correct order. The game is harder than it sounds. The arrangements are complex. Tim Cook, the head of Apple, heard about Wakamiya and her app. Calling her work inspiring, he invited her to an app developers conference. At 82, she was the oldest participant. Describing her experience developing the app, Wakamiya recalls,
Elderly people don't play games on their phones much because games aren't interesting for them. I've heard a lot of people say that. So I thought it would be nice if there were some apps which elderly people could enjoy. This game is based on traditional Japanese culture. I wanted to tell the next generation about traditional culture. I thought that making a game and letting young people play it would be easier than explaining culture to them. When I first saw the pictures moving, I was really impressed. First, I create the images. Then I run the simulation and they start moving and talking. It's really impressive. Programming is the best way for me to feel a sense of achievement.